All right, we're jumping right into some major introductory material, The Magic of Three, which covers pages 7 through 24 in the Playing Card Oracles, a source book for divination, and it would be great if you could read that chapter. So color, suit, and number are the three magical pieces of information that have been encoded on playing cards for centuries and centuries. And it is these three pieces of information which together will turn our ordinary playing deck into a magical instrument. And here on the screen we see the Pythia of Delphi, probably the most famous seer in our history. And here she is pictured with her three-legged stool. Now, why three? If you've ever sat on a three-legged stool, you know, it would be natural to wonder why would she ever want to sit on a three-legged stool? Because three is highly symbolic. Three has been a major number in traditions of magic and prophecy for as long as we have recorded history. So this is the number that we will continue to use in our tradition of magic and prophecy. So we're in a good lineage here. So we're going to start with color, our first magical piece of information. Playing cards have a strange color palette. It's very stripped down. In fact, the whole deck can be divided between black and red. And black and red communicate to us on a primal level. In fact, they're now making mobiles for babies that are black, red, and white, as these are the first colors that babies see. Already those colors are communicating to us as infants, even before we have a vocabulary. And we see here, of course, all cards are either black or red on a white background. So once again, we see the magic of three within color, and we'll learn to interpret the colors, to weave it into each and every reading that we do. So here's a little exercise to exercise your listening to your own inner voice, which is the critical skill in card reading. So you have a red screen here, and if you can make your video full screen right now to get the full impact of this color, please do that. And then after I explain what I'd like you to do, I want you to stop the video. We're going to do a little exercise and then we'll come back. So I want you to listen to your own inner voice as to whatever this color brings up for you. And you can write down whatever words come to mind. It might be a siren, or anger, or any, possible thing that comes up for you as you immerse yourself in this color. And then those are words and feelings that you can actually incorporate into your readings. So let's stop the video, get a piece of paper, and I'll see you back in a minute. All right, so I hope you did the exercise. There's no right or wrong answer. It's an exercise in listening. And now we have the other playing card color. No, your computer's not broken. This is a black screen. And again, please go full screen if you can with your computer. And we're going to take a moment and write down any feelings, any thoughts, any associations that come up for you as you immerse yourself in the color black. Okay, I hope you took time to do that exercise. And we see that both of these colors really bring up very opposite associations. You know, black is very recessive. It's very quiet, very secretive. Red is the total opposite. It's very out there. And we have those different dynamics, that polarity, every time we look at cards. This creates the dance that the cards do for us on the table. The second piece of magical information is number, right? Number. And the numbers are represented visually by the pip signs or the suit signs. Pip is just another word for suit. And what a curious numbering system. Ace through 9. And then we go into the quartz. And we know from a numerological standpoint, if you've studied numerology, which is not a prerequisite for this course, but if you've studied numerology, you know that 9 is the last number, because all numbers after that are simply new combinations. So these cards have numerological expressions that bring the numbers to life for us in a card reading. They express situations in our life. They're not just for math anymore, right? They're not just quantitative anymore. Here's a little diagram from the chapter that we pointed out, pages 7 through 24 in the Playing Card Oracles. This is a little summary of possible meanings for the numbers as they appear in your readings. And once again, take this video as an introduction. Don't freak out. This is just an overview to get you, introduced to the way the numbers work in readings. And we only have Ace through 9 here on the screen because quartz are a completely different category of numbers, and they're based more on personality than numerological expressions. So if you could just take some time to read through this on your own, look at the little suit sign formations or the pip formations illustrated here, and just start forming connections in your own mind. And the third piece of magical information are the suits, right? Another way to slice and dice our deck. Another piece of historical information curiously encoded on playing cards that we're going to use to the maximum. Suits provide a bottomless way of expressing your intuition, your vision through cards. The 4 suits also correspond to the 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. And they also correspond to the 4 components within our own psyche of spirit, mind, emotion, and body, or the physical self. And so we can correlate all these things to the suits and have a very rich language for expressing ourselves. So let's go through the suits one by one, since it is a major part of what we'll be doing in this workshop. Again, just an introduction. If you think of the suits as the elements that are represented by them, you can gain much into the personality of the suit. Okay? Diamonds is fire. And I don't care what other card reading systems assign in terms of elements to suits. This is this system. And if you're going to be working with this system, you need to go with these elements. because all of the card meanings, everything we do will lean on these associations, okay? So fire, we want to think of fire. Fire's hot, obviously. Use your imagination. Fire is always looking for a way to grow, right? It's always hungry. It doesn't care what it burns or what is in its way. It's very me-oriented, right? And personality characteristics expressed by the diamond suit are courageous, enthusiastic, and attracting resources. So, for example, if someone had a lot of diamond cards in their layout on the table, we could easily say this person is very me-oriented. This person is very focused on themselves. Diamonds can become very egocentric if they're not balanced out by the other suits, okay? So I'm just getting you to start thinking how suits work in layouts. The body part is the head. This will come in as we learn to interpret the spread of cards, so don't worry about that too much right now. Direction of south, we'll see that as we progress in the workshop. The thing I want you to know right now is the compatible suit. This is very important. When diamond cards and club cards appear on the table together, you have a flow of energy. It's like best friends being on the table together. So you have things that are going the person's way, things that feel easy, right? Kind of a lack of obstacles. Clubs is the air suit. And makes so much sense when we think in terms of the element, because air and fire obviously are playmates, right? They're very levitational, They love to just chase each other around and play up high in the sky. And we'll be learning about that more and throughout the workshop. But for now, emblazon in your brain that diamonds is fire, represents fire, and the compatible suit is clubs, okay? Creating a balance between red and black there. Next, clubs, the club suit, we already mentioned. It's the element of air. Again, don't worry about what other element and suit associations are if you're coming from another system of card reading. This is a way of working with cards unto itself. So clubs being very airy, right? All of the things we associate with air come into play. Someone who's spaced out, right? Dreamy, up in the sky. Their head may be kind of detached from their feet in a sense, right? They're good at words, at communication. They're good at envisioning realities that aren't yet taken form in our physical world. And of course, their compatible suit is diamonds as well, right? Diamonds and clubs are compatible. The fire with the air just makes sense. And the next suit combination is hearts, or the next suit, is hearts. Hearts is the element of water. It's that healing, flowing, vulnerable element, right? So you can think of the element and how it might play out in someone's internal world, right? What might water look like as a part of someone's psyche? It's their emotions, right? It's very tumultuous. It needs a vessel. That's why it loves spade cards, because spades are earth, and we'll get to that in a second. You know, the water needs the cup to hold it. The wine needs the cup to hold it. Our blood needs a vessel or a vein through which to flow so that it can become useful, right? This is the heart suit. It's all that stuff that we associate with emotions, and it can be responsible for our healing or our disease. Spades, the last of the four suits, so critical to look at the suits when you have cards on a table. If you had a spread of cards that was heavy in spades, right? Let's say primarily spades, you would have someone who was super practical, right? Really concerned with the here and now, I want results kind of person. Okay? Really sort of very common sense if you just think about the elements. Concerns of housing and career can be super stubborn, right? Because spade perspective doesn't always see or can't envision perspectives outside of what's right in front of them. Body part is the feet, right? It's the part of our body that literally connects to the earth. And this will come into play more as we go through the workshop. But for now, know that spades and hearts are compatible, right? Hearts is water, right? And it nurtures the earth. It waters the earth, which can be very dry without it. So suddenly with water, things can grow and the earth becomes fertile. So hearts and spades need each other equally. And so here's a little quizola within this video. Here's some different statements that you might use if you saw particular cards within particular suits on the table. If I was doing a reading for someone and they were asking about their relationship with someone, let's say, and diamond cards came down on the table, let's say just diamonds, which statement would you choose? My partner inspires me. Fire, it's the light in a spread. It's like the sun shining on whatever you're talking about. It gives us something to reach for. This is diamonds, okay? What if there were a bunch of club cards on the table? What if the person was asking about their relationship and there were a bunch of club cards on the table? Which of the remaining statements would you choose? Pretty logical. If you think of clubs as air, right? Air frees the breeze. Tough to tie down the air. We give each other freedom. Maybe freedom's the most important thing in that relationship. What if there were a bunch of heart cards on the table? Two final statements there. This person is marriage material, or we love each other and that's enough. Just heart cards. I'd have to go with the last statement. We love each other. Love is the tip-off. If If this person is saying this person is marriage material, doesn't even necessarily mean they love that person. They're thinking from a very practical point of view, which is spades. Okay, so one last thing I'd like to cover. Just start noticing ways that people talk. People use the elements constantly when they speak, because the elements relate directly to our psychology, and that's what we'll be bringing out in our work with these playing cards. So just start noticing, right? The first statement, oh my gosh, I'm such a space cadet. That's the air element, right? That person is so super grounded. It's such a compliment, right? Spades. Spades. Don't get all mushy on me. Watery, right? Soggy. Like, saturated with tears, liquid, blah, blah. Hearts, right? Water. That guitar player was on fire. Obvious. Talking about fire. It's the way we speak, and it's something that the diamond cards would express in a layout. Okay, so fun way to start connecting your cards to life. And if you only have time, or if you only make time to look at part of the chapter that we've referenced here at the beginning of the video, please, please, please make sure to read pages 12 through 24. This is the description for each of the suits. Okay, this is the major study piece within the book for the suits. And if you learn the suits well, your card reading will be easy. Easy, easy, easy. It's such a major part of each reading. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.